Evan's an 11 handicap. I just asked him what he's been working on in his golf swing. I'm just going to try and learn a few things about him. I'm going to watch him hit a few shots. We're going to use one of the features of the IST simulator. I've been using the simulator for a few years now. It's three-dimensional. It's an incredible machine, and it's really realistic, you know, and the other thing about the machine is there's many things that it can do as far as measuring your swing speed, your ball speed, how far the ball goes very accurately. I also use the TrackMan at our golf schools. I have 10 golf schools in America and one in Mexico and one in Madrid, Spain. We have about 90 teachers that work for us, so we're pretty involved in the research piece of golf. We do a lot of lessons. Just at Doral, we have 34 PGA pros, 25 teachers. So I'm going to see how I can do here, and we're going to use the overlay system on this, and the overlay system is a part that I worked on with Todd Richardson and the IST folks as far as putting a model that you can measure your swing against. And the model is actually kind of a perfect swing, so we don't necessarily have to be right on the money, but it will show you in a really dramatic fashion where your swing is and where you might want to work on your swing. There's a lot of things you can do with this simulator. This is just one of them. Now, as a teacher, there's a certain amount of things that I do just by observation, just like any teacher does. I'm just going to look at his swing just like you did. And I looked at how his hands were on the club, how he stood to the golf ball visually. But I've been using video for over 30 years, and there's nothing like actually seeing it yourself. One, for me to look at it very carefully, and two, for the person you're working with to look at it, because you'd have to trust the teacher a tremendous amount to believe everything that I told him about his swing when he can actually look at it. So I saw a great grip. His hands were on the club nice. He did some good things. One of the things you can do is pull up the numbers and does a shot analysis. So the reason the ball was hit short distance there was hit out on the toe of the club. Can you see on the left-hand side? Hit on the toe. It had a lot of hook spin, 10.3. The rotation was small, not much, 3,700 RPMs. Club face was a little closed at impact. That's partially what made it go low, hit low on the face. Your swing speed wasn't bad, almost 80 miles an hour, but it was just a mishit. That's why it went short. All right, so let's do the overlay.
Okay.
And we're going to put the overlay on you, and it's pretty cool. So now you make the overlay, come in, and you place it in there so you can see your stance right there, the way you put your arms on, and we're looking at the right-hand side. Pretty good with his start. We could see his starting position was pretty nice. His arms were hanging good, just about the right amount of knee flex. Not bad. From the front view, you might have been a little narrow with your stance for the model. Now stop it right there. Now if you take the model back, one of the things, take the model back another clip. One of the things you'd see with the model, and most tour players, we film every player on the PGA Tour every year, is you're going to see a little more hinging of the wrists. Can you see that? I'll kind of point it out here. So when we look at this swing, we're going to see that you have a very light setting of the wrists. So maybe getting this club to set a little more. Can you move this another frame? And now you're getting the arms about, go maybe one more frame. So now you got the arms about the same, and you can see how much more hinging there is. So that means when you're hitting the ground, if you're taking this club up and just hitting the ground this way versus putting your wrist in there, you get a tremendous more amount of speed and a little more length to your swing. So let's take him up to the top.
Okay.
So when you get to the top versus the model going to the top, you're just going to see a little more setting. So that's just a little more, it kind of gives you a visual picture. I think going up to the top, on the right-hand side, you see you stayed in your posture pretty good. Your head lifted up maybe a little bit on the right, this side over here, because you're building some momentum in your swing. And This is called random hinging, basically, is where your hand, the club is hinging somewhere at about hip height and setting, and you end up getting this L position between your left arm and the shaft. And we saw a little bit of this. So I'm going to come in and work with him, and then we're going to see if we can actually see a difference in just a couple swings. So go ahead and set up. You had a great, your hands were good. Yeah, you're just great right there. Just sort of relax the shoulders. And then I'm going to take it back with, let me see how, a little lighter with your hands. That's it. So one of the things I'm going to do with you is just let the club set a little more, right? Yeah, so you just take a little more relaxation right there. And then from here, I'm just going to turn you back to the top, and I want you to put your eyes back to the ball. Okay, and then we're going to turn you to the top, and we're going to try to keep you a little more feeling this way instead of that way, all right? So let's see if we can do those two things. Just get a little more hinge right there. Let's try it again. So a little bit longer swing. There you go. Good, 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 good. Now let me see you do that a few times. And set the wrist. Okay? Now let's just take a look and see how he did. You see you got the club back pretty good. You got your legs better. You didn't sway as much on that lower body. Head still came up a little bit on the right. It was in there in great shape for pretty far into the backswing.
Right at the
end. Still came up just a little bit at the top. That's it. And then when you finish your backswing, you go right to there, and then no, let's go back again. We're just going to go right to here. Get the club set. And then I want you to finish, no, again, you do that for me. And then now finish your backswing. Turn it all the way up there. And I kept you more this way.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's better. Yeah. Very good. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
A little demonstration of what to do. Thank you. Good job.